Good evening, good evening. This is still Work Your Package Wednesday. I know what you're saying. If this woman comes on here late one more week, when she's supposed to be on here from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., and here it is going on 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Central Time, if this chick does not learn how to get on here on time, I know. I get it. I need you to understand, and mothers get it. They truly get it because kids are back in school. Kids are back in school. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Lisa. Kids are back in school. As you can see, I'm still in my office. I'm still in my office. I'm still here. So, let me introduce myself for the folks who don't know. I'm Ayanna Castro. I'm the founder and chief maven of Work Your Package. And my job, honestly, my mission, my passion is to uplift, inspire, educate, and just empower everybody to be absolutely extraordinary and fabulous. That is my joy. That is what I have a fun time doing. Hey, Lisa Turner. So I wanted to talk about, yes, you can be productive and not burn out. And this is really honestly for the folks who are just getting back in the swing of fall, just getting back in the swing of being back from summer vacation and being at the beach and going on, just people who've just been chilling for the summer. And I know that sometimes we get back into work and we're just like, oh my God, there's so much to do. Some people's fiscal years start September. Some people, like my company, we started July was the beginning of our fiscal year. But for a lot of companies, this is where the rubber really meets the road. You're coming into the third quarter. The third and fourth quarter of the year, there might be profits that need to be made, numbers need to be met. But honestly, right now I'm talking to the people that got to manage families. The start of the sorority year, exactly, Lisa. I want to start with people who have multiple people and things to juggle, meaning it's not just you. You have other responsibilities. You're active at work. You're active in other organizations. Your volunteer efforts. You're busy all over the place. And we have a tendency to sit up there and say, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can take on that. You're absolutely right, Lisa. Starting those kids' activities. So this is my 1 week, full transparency, because I'm always transparent about my stuff. I have 2 daughters, absolutely gorgeous daughters, but they're somewhat busy. I'm not going to say extraordinarily busy. I think I purposely keep their schedule kind of light, just to kind of keep my sanity. My youngest one is in dancing school. My oldest is in Girl Scouts, as well as my youngest. So both of them are in Girl Scouts, but my youngest is also in dancing school. So the thing that I notice the most for me is that I tend to overextend myself. That's the one thing that you need to stop doing in order to be productive and not burn yourself out. Like, we overextend ourselves by saying, oh yeah, I can be on that, or I can be on that committee. Oh, I can be on that subcommittee. Oh yeah, I can make that event. And honestly, you are doing yourself a disservice when you sit up there and you try to be so much on everything. When you want to be great at something, you have to be selective in what you choose to do. So I chose, let me put it like that. I chose to scale back on some of my responsibilities for this upcoming year and for next year, primarily because I wanted to really focus in on what I needed to do to be productive for me and for my family, right? So the next thing that kind of can keep you from burning out is focus on the happiness before you focus on the doing. So if you can focus on the happiness of the outcome of what you're doing rather than the monotony and the anguish of the doing, sometimes you can you put yourself in a better mind state. Some of you might remember that I had gotten hooked on this one particular author by the name of Sean Aker. And in his book, The Happiness Advantage, he talked about that happiness and fulfillment is one of the best predictors for success. Not productivity. I mean, not the other way around. So happiness and fulfillment comes, and then success and productivity. So you can't be successful and productive but not be happy and fulfilled in what you're doing. So it makes me happy to take my daughter to dancing school because she's following in my footsteps. It makes me happy to take my girls to Girl Scouts because I was also a Girl Scout, and I love to see them form their own relationships. It makes me happy to serve on the subcommittees that I serve on for my sorority because they're close to my heart. It makes me happy to do the work that I do here at work because it actually fulfills the both sides of my brain, the left side and the right side of my brain. Does that make sense? So you have to be happy and fulfilled in order to be productive and successful. I struggle with this next thing, which is to exercise, eat well, and sleep 8 hours a day. I don't always exercise. I do okay eating. I've gotten better, but sleep and we're not friends. Sleep and I don't get along. I don't know about anybody else. Women of a certain age, in that age bracket between 45 and 50, insomnia is something. Am I the only one suffering from that? Like, if you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning, just take a chance, just to see. Text me and see if I text back. Like, there's a strong possibility I might text you back because I'm dealing with insomnia. It is crazy. And I know it's because I don't eat well. I know it's because I don't exercise every day. I'll get a good brisk walk in. And brisk meaning I'll purposely do like a couple of laps on the lower level of our building because our building is so big. You can do a couple of laps and feel like you actually walked some distance. But I don't do that every day. And I definitely don't get enough sleep because my brain is wired. So I'm always trying to figure out a way to shut my brain off so that my body can go to sleep. It's ridiculous. It is just really, really bad. The other thing that I need to really work on, and this I often say, I talk to myself a lot when I'm sharing these Facebook lives. Like, I do it for y'all, but a lot of times I reveal and realize stuff for myself. Learning how to do the right things with downtime. So I can get sucked down the rabbit hole, and y'all have heard me say this before, that Pinterest is the devil. I can get sucked down the rabbit hole of Pinterest so fast, like it's not even funny. Like, that's my little downtime. Like, the downtime the very little bit of downtime that I have, it's not spent wisely. So I'm thinking that to make the most of these breaks that I have, to make the most of the downtime that I have, one of the things I could be doing is exercising. I can exercise, I can meditate, I could write in my journal, I could call somebody as opposed to scrolling through social media. Facebook will suck you in really, really quick. I know this week social media I've been really active on social media this week. Colin Kaepernick, Nike, Kavanaugh, like, there's so much stuff going on right now for social media to keep and hold on to your attention. Jeffrey Owens, like, there's a lot of stuff going on social media right now to keep your attention. But in my downtime, in your downtime, actually, what about taking a walk outside? What about looking up something new, like something you've always been curious about, but nothing to really suck you down the hole of being online for like 5 hours, but just curious. You know what I mean? The other thing is not comparing backwards, not forwards. So when I say compare backwards and not forward, compare where you are now to where you were. You know what I mean? So if you've made progress, be excited and happy about the progress that you've made, and don't beat yourself up about the progress that you haven't made. Because when you start forward thinking, like when you have all this level of expectation, that's a way to set yourself up for disappointment. And the antidote for that is gratitude. You find gratitude in the things that happened before. So I'll say that again. Expectation leads to disappointment, and the antidote for disappointment is gratitude. And you have gratitude by looking back from where you came. So if you realize that, you know what, for me, for example, I was so proud of myself when I realized that I had walked up the stairs as opposed to taking the elevator. I was excited because I actually did that, a couple of days consistently. I was proud of me, right? I was really proud of me. Just think about everything that you consistently do for productivity purposes, right? Think about all the things that you do for yourself that you do for others that you don't necessarily do for yourself. Think about everything that you tell other people to give them advice, but you don't necessarily take the same advice for yourself. So I think one of the main reasons why I wanted to touch on this topic is because so many of us are in this fall state. I thought my phone was about to die. Well, all of us are in the middle of this catching up with fall, right? So I'm going to go over it again because I wrote them down. Just to go over really quick about productivity and how not to burn yourself out. Stop overextending yourself and do less. So even if it means that you have to say no to some people, that you can't do it, that you can't be on this committee, that you can't participate in this, you can't go to this event, you can't buy this ticket, you can't, whatever it is that you realize is not adding to the value of your life and taking from it, just say no to it. The second thing is to focus on your happiness before you actually focus on the productivity. So focus on the happiness and the fulfillment of it before you get to the success of the productivity. Because once you focus on the happiness of the doing, it really makes it a lot easier. Katrina, I'm not trying to be in your mind. I told you, there's a lot of times I get on here and I say things, and honestly, when I tell you, a lot of times I get on here because I've had a conversation, 1, 2, something's been sitting in my head for a couple of days, or 3, I just read something really, really interesting and I wanted to expound on it. Honestly, that's what happens. I'm not in your head, but I'm glad that I'm hitting you in between your eyes. The third thing is to exercise, eat well, and sleep. We push ourselves to almost the brink of exhaustion because I don't know where this nonsense started that, if you are pushing yourself with only 2-3 hours of sleep, how did that become a badge of honor? How did that become honorable that you don't get enough sleep? I don't understand that. I really don't get it. Like, I know I'm sitting in my office. It's 8:09. The cleaning people are here, right? The cleaning people are here. Hola, ¿cómo está?
Bien.
Muy cansada. Mucho trabajo. I know. See, she hasn't seen me in ever, right? I'm talking to the people on Facebook. She hasn't seen me in forever, and I'm here. And I'm here. What does that tell you? I'm at work because I had to, and again, full transparency. My girls are back at school. Today was the second full day of school. School buses were late yesterday. School buses were late today. I ended up driving both of them to school yesterday and today, which means I got to the office late, which means that the tasks that I had on my schedule for me to do 9:30, 10 o'clock today got pushed back to 11 and 12 o'clock. So I'm still here. Okay, so the fourth thing, I was up to 4, right? Yeah, so the fourth thing is to do the right things with your downtime. Right? And some of the things that we talked about is exercising, meditating, gratitude. Even if you write out a list of gratitude, take a minute to step away from the computer, from the phone, from the laptop, from the tablet, out of the office, to take a minute just to write down a list of gratitude. Just the things that you're thankful for, just the things that you are really excited about. Take a minute to use that downtime to do that instead of, going down the rabbit hole of social media or going down the rabbit hole of Pinterest, because I'm guilty of it. I know I'm guilty of it. The fifth thing is to compare backwards and not forwards. So basically that means, looking back and really realizing from where you came to where you are now. So for when you have made progress, you should be proud of the progress. And you need to think about all the things that you've been able to accomplish. Basically, that's the stuff that you need to think about, the stuff that you've already accomplished. Expectation can lead to disappointment, and the antidote to that is gratitude. Right? And then I think that was it. I think it was just the 5 things, right? Yeah, that was it. I think it was just 5 things. But those 5 things can help you with burnout. You can still be productive and not burn the candle at both ends. You can still be productive and not wear yourself to the point where you're sick. I know one of my good girlfriends who's on here right now, she wears herself absolutely thin to the point where she is transparent. And she gets sick, she goes to urgent care, she gets a whole bunch of meds, then she's traveling again and she's up and down the road, and then she'll get sick again, and then she'll do some more traveling and more up and down the road, and then she'll get sick again, and then she gets clumsy and she falls. And she knows I'm talking about her. She know I'm talking about her. Sometimes your body will scream at you for the rest, but we're hard-headed and we don't listen. Being busy is not productive. Wearing yourself out until you don't recognize who's in the mirror is not productive. Being cranky and snapping at your family because you've ran from the office to home and now you're trying to figure out dinner and homework and everything else, that's not productive. That is you putting yourself on a very vicious cycle to continue being exhausted. That's just my thought. Yeah, Netta, I was talking about you. I love you to pieces, but yeah, I was talking about you. Listen to your body. Being productive does not require you to wear a cape. Being productive does not require you to have, show superhuman strength. It does not require you to be a superhero. It does require you to work smart, not hard. It does require you to take a minute to reassess what's actually important. We talked about this before. You can have tons of things in front of you, but what's actually important? What is actually getting you closer to your goals? What is actually going to contribute to your extraordinary life? Because if it's not contributing, then it's subtracting, and then it should probably go. That's just my thought. I say this as it is 8:14 p.m. Today was breakfast for dinner at home. You know I talk about breakfast for dinner. Breakfast for dinner has been every Wednesday in my house since the girls could eat solid food. They've probably already eaten. I'm pretty sure they've already taken their showers, and they're probably wondering where I am. But they also know their mom. They also know that I had to drive them to school today, and I am a good steward with my time at work. I am able to do the things that I do at work, and I have the flexibility at work that I need because I'm a good steward at my time, and I'm honorable. When I say I've worked 10 hours, I've actually worked 10 hours. So me walking in here at 10 o'clock and then leaving out of here at 5 was just not going to happen. Plus, I had a whole bunch of stuff to do. I had a whole bunch of deliverables and stuff. So I thank y'all for hopping on with me, and I appreciate you for not fussing me out for not being on here at 9 o'clock in the morning between the hours of 9 and 10. However, I did make a commitment to get on here and be on here every week. I did. I made a commitment. It's one of the things that I am grateful for. Every single week that I'm able to come on here and talk to you all and share some good stuff, because I don't want anybody to ever feel like they are not understood or not heard. I don't want anyone to ever feel like it's just them. It's not just you. You are not the only person looking at your 168 hours trying to figure out how the hell am I going to get all of this done. You have to prioritize. Prioritize and realize you can't do it all. And in order to be truly productive, sometimes you have to let some things go. Sometimes you have to outsource. One of the best things that I was ever introduced to was ordering my groceries online. I'm telling you, it is a lifesaver. It is an absolute lifesaver. There are some things that I still go to the grocery store for, but if you can outsource it, why not? Costco delivers. Did you know that? Costco will deliver. You do not have to go to Costco and fight with the big old parking lot and the humongous shopping carts. You don't have to do that. You can go online and shop at Costco. You can shop online at Walmart too. Amazon is your friend. Get their Prime membership. Okay. That is it, and that is all. Katrina, let me tell you something. I told you about that conversation I had with the Lord. That conversation at 40, when I told the Lord, I'll go where you tell me to go and speak what you want me to speak. That was... Be careful what you tell the Lord. That's all I'm going to say. Just be careful what you say. Be careful, because the Lord will just open up all kind of doors and opportunities for you. Yeah. So anyway, I'm getting off of here. My name is Ayanna Castro. I'm the founder and chief maven of Work Your Package. My goal here is to really honestly inspire and uplift you, empower you to be absolutely extraordinary. I implore upon you to continue to live and not just exist, because existing is just being mediocre. And we don't tolerate mediocrity. Mediocrity is not something that we do. Not the people that I know, not this tribe, not these people, not these mavens that pop on here with me. I want you to continue to shine bright, continue to be that light that somebody else needs. You never know. I know that there are days that I feel like I just can't. I just don't want to. I just don't feel like it. I don't want to. And then I'll get an email or a text message, or I'll run into a coworker who will say, oh my God, I read something that you wrote back in such and such, and it was so inspiring. Or I just caught the first of your Facebook lives, and oh my God, I didn't know. Your life has a purpose. Even when you feeling exhausted, somebody else is watching. I've heard someplace, oh my goodness, where did I just hear that? I just heard that when somebody quit, two people lose. The person who quit and the person who's watching. Somebody said that. I can't remember where I just heard. I can't remember where I heard that quote, but I heard it today. When you quit, two people lose. The person who quit and the person who's watching you and is motivated by what you're doing. There it is. That's it, and that's all. I hope y'all have a fantastic evening. If you're in the DMV, I think we're up and due for some rain. Thank God, because I'm sick of this heat. If you are elsewhere, have a very safe night. Shout out to Kamisha Foley and Lucy Brazier, who they're over in South Africa right now for Executive Secretary Live. I wish I could be there. Hopefully I will get there soon, but shout out to them. Travel safely. I can't wait to see all the pictures and the videos. Kamisha, you have not failed me yet. I can't believe you got to pet a little lion cub. Anywho, I will talk to you later. Love you. Have an awesome evening. Good night.